Hi everyone, I'm Susie and welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to download and install Inkscape along with its embroidery extension, Inkstitch, and we'll also set up the basics. These are the three programs we'll be using to create the design we want to embroider later on. So, let's get started. I'm going to show you every step, but I've also put all the links in the description below if you want to download the files from there. First, let's open the browser and type in inkscape.org to bring up the Inkscape website. We're going to install the latest version. Here are the versions available, where you can choose the one you need. I'm on Windows, so I'm going to select the Windows version and follow through with that. If you are using a different operating system, you should choose that one instead. I'm going to click on it and the download will begin. Once it's downloaded, we can just click on it in the top right corner to start the installation. Don't be alarmed, I already have the program installed, which is why it's wondering why I want to install it again. But I'm doing a fresh install just so we can go through with it step by step together. If you want to install it to a specific folder, you can choose the location here. Otherwise, just keep clicking the next button and it will install smoothly. Right, that's done. Now, let's install Inkstitch as well. Inkstitch is an add-on and extension which allows us to convert our designs into embroidery files. Let's type inkstitch.org into the browser. I'll put the link to this website in the description too. Here, we'll select Download. On this page, you can see the different operating systems. Just choose the one that you have. Since I'm on Windows, I'll select that. The latest version is 3.2.2. They are already working on a newer version, but it's still in testing mode. It's going to have a lot of upgrades, but at the moment, this is the latest, most stable one. So this is what we're downloading. Once downloaded, it will appear again in the top right corner. Click on it to launch the installer. If you are happy with the installation path, click Next and we are good to go. Now, let's open Inkscape and configure the settings. Down here at the bottom, you can see the colour palette used in Inkscape. However, this palette can be converted into actual embroidery thread palettes sorted by manufacturer. To bring up the list of threads, we need to install it first. We'll be using the Extensions tab, and specifically Inkstitch inside it most of the time to convert our designs into embroidery files. So, let's go to the Extensions tab, then Inkstitch. From here, we choose Thread Color Management and then select Install Thread Color Palette for Inkscape. A window will pop up showing where the list will be saved. If you're happy with that, click Install. Once it's done, close it and restart Inkscape so the list can load. In the bottom right corner, you'll see three little lines. If you click on that, the list of thread manufacturers will pop up. You can choose whichever manufacturer and thread type you normally use. I use Madeira Polyneon 40, so I'm going to select that list. If you already have a specific colour palette of your own threads, or perhaps you use threads from multiple brands, you can actually put together a custom colour palette of your own stash. I don't personally use this function, but I'll show you how to create your own custom colour palette. To do this, you first need to make a list of your thread colours, for example, in Word. This list should include the colour name, the code if you want to, and you definitely need to put an image of the colour next to it. Once you have this list ready, take a photo or a screenshot of it and save it. I have my own colour palette image of the threads I use, so I'm going to use that. First, we need to import the image we made of the thread names and colours. You can zoom in and out using the controls at the bottom. To do this, go to File, then Import, and locate where that image is saved. Once you find it, select it, click OK, and it will be placed onto the screen. Let's scale it down so it fits and we can see the colours properly, because we'll be building our list based on this. Next, I'll select the text icon so I can type. Now, I'll start typing out the colours from my list one by one. If you have colour codes as well, type them in alongside the names. I don't have them here and I didn't want to look them up, so I'll skip the codes for now. I'm going to speed up this part of the video so it doesn't take hours, but the point is that you type the colours of every single thread you own into this list. If you reach the end of the page and run out of space, click the very top arrow tool on the left to switch selection modes. This allows you to select the list you've made so far and resize it. I'll scale it down a bit, then click right next to the last colour I typed to get back into the text box and continue my list. At the end, I'll switch back to the top arrow again, click on the list, and fit the size to my page. Now the list is selected. Next, we go to the Extensions tab, Inkstitch, Thread Colour Management, and here we choose Generate Palette, and then Split Text. This will split our single block of text into separate lines so every colour becomes its own row. Now, we need to add the colours one by one. Go to the Object tab, then Fill and Stroke, which brings up the colour palette. We aren't going to use that main palette. Instead, we'll use the little dropper tool underneath it to sample our own colour. Click on the name of your first thread in the row, then click on the dropper tool. Move this dropper over to the palette image you uploaded earlier and click on the corresponding thread colour. This will change the text of your thread's name to the exact colour from your list. You need to do this one by one for every single colour. This may take a little while though, depending on how many colours you use, so I'll speed this part up. Once that's done, select the whole thing and save it just to be safe. Find a folder where you want to store it. I'm going to name mine My Madeira Poly 40. Once saved, as you can see, everything remains just as we left it, meaning all items are still selected. Go to Extensions, Inkstitch, then Thread Colour Management, and Generate Palette, and this time choose Generate Colour Palette. Here, you can give it a name so you can find it among the other lists. For me, it's My Madeira Poly 40, and then click Apply. Once that's finished, close it and restart Inkscape to let the list load. Go down to the 3 lines in the bottom right corner again and from the pop-up list, look for the one we just added. For me, it's my Madeira Poly 40, so that's the one I need to find. Personally, I don't normally use a custom list like this because I don't mind seeing all the available colour codes, especially when I'm creating a new design and want to try out a new colour. I can just select it, and if I don't own that thread yet, I'll simply just buy it with my next order. So it doesn't bother me to see the whole range. But if you prefer to work strictly with your own stash, this is how you can do it. The next setting is choosing hoop sizes and setting them up as templates. This will make things much easier when you're making a design, as you can just select the template with the correct hoop size and start designing straight onto it. To do this, go to File, then Document Properties. A window will pop up where we can input the hoop size. I usually set mine in inches, but you can choose whether you prefer inches, centimetres or millimetres. Right now, I'm setting up a 5x7 inch hoop size. It's important that the display unit here remains in millimetres because the software calculates stitch length and density in millimetres. Once that's set, I'm closing it. Go to File, click on Save Template, type in the name you want for this template. For me, this will be 5x7 hoop portrait, and save it. Let's check if it has been added to our templates. Go to File, New from Template, select Custom, and as you can see, there it is. You can make other templates too. I'm going to create a horizontal one as well. Go to File, Document Properties again. This time I'll input 7x5 since I'm making the landscape version. Once done, close it and save it as a template. I'll give it a name. This one will be 7x5 hoop landscape. And then save it. Let's check it again. File, New from Template, Custom, and this one is there too. I've already made a 4x4 one as well, which is 10x10 centimetres. You can just select whichever one you need, and that's the one that will load. So, we are pretty much done with the basic setup. In the next video, we'll talk about the different functions and the differences between the stitches. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe.